Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at this hour. But it is morning where I am, and it is a good morning because the sun is shining bright and beautiful. Even if the sun wasn't shining, it still would be a good morning to me. So I woke up this morning with a golden milk latte or tea on my mind. And when I have something on my mind, I usually go after it, right? And so I'm in here getting ready to make a golden latte, a golden milk, a golden tea, whichever phrase you want to call this. But this golden milk is very health beneficial. It is anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antioxidant, and antibacterial. Every ingredient that I'm using this morning is going to benefit the body and do my body some good, as it will yours as well. So without going into a whole lot, I want to share what I'm using. I am going to be starting off with a half a cup of organic milk. And I typically don't use cans. I just don't like cans. That's my preference. However, I'm using this can. It says non-BPA can be, so I'm going to use it and pray over it, right? And I like this brand, and I'm not getting, this video is not being sponsored by this brand, but I wanted to share why I like this brand because they only have 2 ingredients in here, and the ingredients are organic coconut milk and filtered water. So if you can see that the ingredients is 2 ingredients. So I typically like to use products that have only, the least amount of ingredients, the better. All right. So what you want to do first is you want to warm the coconut milk. Just get it warm, not hot, not boiling, but warm. So you want to turn it on low. And I'm using a small pot, right? And so while that's getting warm, I just want to talk about what I'm using again. And I'm not using any fresh ginger or any fresh turmeric this morning because I'm lazy and I don't feel like shredding it. I do have it, but you can do either or. You can use ground turmeric. You can use ground ginger. You can use cinnamon. This is cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I'm always using ginger and cinnamon, but not all cinnamon is created equal. So you want to make sure that you are using this brand, or not this brand, but this name, Sion cinnamon, right? This is a healthier cinnamon for you. And I'm going to use just a pinch of black pepper. That's to help the turmeric digest, do whatever it's going to do in the body, right? And you can sweeten it or not. It's optional. You can use maple syrup. Believe it or not, maple syrup does have antioxidants properties within it. Or you can, if you are vegan, if you are vegan and don't use honey, you can use the maple syrup. If you are not vegan, you can use raw honey, which is, I like either or. So I just wanted to share that with you. I believe that the milk is warm enough. So I'm going to begin preparing the milk. So I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm sorry. Cinnamon, turmeric. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of the turmeric, right? All right. So the turmeric powder. So we're going to go ahead and put that. Turmeric is pretty potent. So there you have it. Half a teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm putting that right here in the pan. Next, I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of ginger. Let me wipe this off because I don't want to put the ginger inside or the turmeric inside of my ginger bottle. So I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of ginger. I love ginger. It's so good for the body. So there you have it, teaspoon of ginger. And mix that together. It looks beautiful. And then I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So all these so far are half of teaspoons. So I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. These are good cleansers, anti-inflammatories, antibacterials, like I said. So good, right? Half a teaspoon. Okay. And I'm going to just use a pinch of black pepper. So I'm going to sprinkle that just so you can see that. Did it come out? Not yet. That's it. Okay. And don't want to burden it with black pepper. Then I'm going to use a teaspoon of, you can use a teaspoon of honey or the maple syrup. And I'm going to use, ta-da, I think I'm going to use honey this morning. 1 teaspoon. One teaspoon of raw honey. Because, you know, during the winter seasons, you always want to use these antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, all this to keep the colds away. So here's my honey. I'm going to use a teaspoon of honey. And don't want to make a mess and have it all over you, because that would not look good. Oh, you know what? I should have used my other spoon. I'm so sorry about that, but it's okay. Usually when you are using honey, you want to use a wooden spoon, right? You want to use a wooden spoon, like so. Okay. I'm going to add an extra benefit, and that is pure vanilla, non-alcoholic vanilla. So I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of that in there. You can never use too much. I just put, just to give it some more flavor, some more added benefits. Okay. So let's go. Let's now begin stirring all of the ingredients together. See if you can see that. You can't see it yet. Anyway, I'll show it to you. We're going to stir that, mix it together. Here, let me see if I can bring the camera down some for you. There we go. Okay, so we're going to mix all the ingredients together till it's nice and golden. And not lumpy. And still, this is on a low heat, not high. You don't want this boiling. You want it to simmer. So we're going to let this simmer for about 10 minutes. And then we are going to strain this. Okay, now that this has simmered for about 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat and take off the top. I place a top on there just so all the ingredients that I'm using can simmer together nicely. Now, what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to strain everything to remove some of the lumps that might have been in here. You see some of the cinnamon is kind of lumpy. So I'm going to use a strainer and right into my mug. Now, this is the strainer that I'm going to be using today. This strainer, I love this because I do it for teas and whatever, and just put that right on top of my mug. Now, if you are wanting to take this golden milk hot drink liquid with you, you can also opt to use a cup that has heat and cold. It holds heat and cold for 8 hours or more. I've used this on the road, and I've used it if I just want to sip throughout the day. But I'm going to go ahead and sip this now. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my coffee mug, tea mug. And you can see all of the spices are going to remain, but it's going to take out the lumps. Look how delicious this is. You want this golden looking, golden look, right? For it to taste excellent. So as you can see in the strainer here, so I'm just going to kind of whisk this around with my wooden spoon to make sure that I'm getting all of the greatness and I don't want to miss anything. So this didn't make a huge cup, but you can always double, triple the ingredients if you want to make multiple cups, a larger cup, or if you want to make it for your family. But this is one of my go-to morning drinks outside of green juices and smoothies and water, of course. You know, I told you water is always the first liquid that you want to place in your body in the morning to wake up those toxins and to get those ready to be pushed out. This is a wake me up golden milk that's going to also benefit your body, your mind, and your soul. It's going to taste good. So here's what it looks like. It didn't make much, but you don't need a whole lot to get you started. All right, so let's taste this cup of greatness. Make sure you blow it. Ooh, it smells yummy. It smells so good also. Wow. The milk, the thickness, the creaminess of this drink, and the spices, the cinnamon, the ginger, the turmeric, everything that I use, the vanilla is going to do your body some good. You can drink this every morning. You can even drink it before you go to bed. It helps you relax. It just helps your body overall. Helps flush out toxins. It's anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antibacterial, removes that chronic inflammation. If you drink this on a regular basis, it helps to push out everything that needs to come out. But it also gives you a great delight, tasteful delight in the morning. Now, caution of warning for those of you who might be on any blood thinners or any type of medications that will go against you. Turmeric is very potent. So you want to check to make sure that the turmeric inside of this golden milk is not going to affect your body in any shape or form. So I always use a word of caution when you are on any type of medications, especially blood thinners, before you use turmeric. Now, if you want blood thinners, you can leave out the turmeric and still have a great golden tea, golden milk, whatever your choice is. But this is my recipe and I'm going to drink it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who you might think want to trade in their coffee for golden milk every morning, because it will do the body some greatness. All right, take care. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.